guys, King Ches here, back with another video for the council, and today we are going to be doing a deck guide on Madoc Revs. This is a deck you won't have seen much on ladder. I haven't played this on stream yet. I don't think many people have been testing this out. However, I have got a special guest today who has had similar ideas and has said that he's having great success with it, so I invited him along. How's it going, Mr. Specimen Gwent?
Hello, Miss Ches. Yeah, man. I'm doing all right, thank you. I overset my alarm a little bit, so I think I'm in trouble with Ches a bit, but I'm all good.
No, it's fine. We've all got absolutely awful sleep schedules at the moment, right? So,
yeah.
To be fair, I've been up since like 4 a.m, so, you know.
Revenants is just like a deck I've always used to love. Northern Realms was sort of the only faction I used to play, and I used to play a lot of Adder or Vicious Slash. So, because like Madoc exists, obviously they just made a lot of sense to try out, and we've basically come up with super similar ideas. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, actually. Like the Witcher NR deck, as good as it is, it does have some pretty bad matchups into Skellige, and also like you have to draw your Einsace against Kelly a lot of the time. Whereas this is just like a lot more consistent in those sorts of matchups. So it does make a lot of sense as a deck, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now the deck does have it has a place in the meta, right, with Swarm coming back. So you've got Elves being pretty popular. You've got NR Witches is pretty swarmy. This deck should do really well against that. Still, it probably does struggle against your Skellige, right? Because Skellige has a lot of control for your engine. So especially on blue coin, it can be a pretty difficult matchup. Kelly should be okay. Again, like you said, you got difference between mine and your vision. I've got an extra tall punish, but generally speaking, it should be a pretty decent matchup anyway into Kelly. So it has got like some pretty popular decks. It does pretty well against, and it's fresh, right? It's new. It's not being played very much. The meta's a little stale, so it's always nice to try something out.
Yeah, I think like there's some really nice things about this. Like one thing in particular that was really drawing me to it is the fact you get to play Moondust, which is an offensive purifier that Northern Realms has never had. Like, and also the Dancing Star, or as I like to call it, the Falla Bomb as well. You can get some really good value off this card as well, with all your Archer pings and things like that. It does just feel like it's the Madoc gets a lot of value. Also, like I found what you've obviously got with this compared to like a Griffin Witcher deck is you can stay unitless. So if you're going second against like an SK or something, they play like a Hunter, you just play a bomb, then they play a ship, you play another bomb, and it does really diminish their points. And then if you can just catch up with like a Quedwini Knight off Assault or something like that, you can normally take the first round, which puts you in a pretty good position there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the no unit ability of this deck is pretty nice, and the Madoc also obviously empowers that a bit more. Madoc's a really, like, it's an interesting card, right? When it was first released, I was like, I don't think that's going to see much play, and it didn't, right? It saw it in ST, and that was about it. But they buffed some of these bombs, and like people have had more time to experiment with it. And Madoc, like, it can fit into most factions, to be honest. It's just a really useful tool for these sort of control-heavy, control-centric decks.
Yeah, like if you think about like Demetrian Bomb as a card, this is the kind of card that if it was just on its own would still see like a little bit of play in Northern Realms, I think, as a one-off. Because Northern Realms has always used Boiling Oil at 5 provisions, 5 damage, but they've never had a 4 damage card. So just a Demetrian Bomb on its own, you could make an argument for seeing a bit of play in this deck. But when you've also got like an extra 3 points on top of that, which could also be damage, while setting up your Revenants and things like that, like it really does just become quite an incredibly good card. I was quite surprised when they buffed these bombs, honestly, but maybe Madoc will just catch a nerf at the end of the season, because I do think he's too good at the moment, honestly. The card feels really, really good to me.
Yeah,
I've been playing him in like every flipping deck I can try. I really have.
Yeah, we've noticed. But no, you're right. I think D-Bomb's actually like a pretty smurf card right now, like 4P4 removal. All factions generally have been like run those, right? And D-Bomb's like slightly worse than every faction specific one, like Joust or Natural Selection, if you don't take Madoc into consideration. But as soon as you take Madoc into consideration, D-Bomb's just like, it's super useful 4P tech card.
Yeah,
most decks will be running it.
It's also like quite unique in the sense that you've got this removal card that's also putting points on your side of the board. Like it is kind of relevant at times. It's almost playing for the same amount of points as like a Triss into like a Boiling Oil would or something like that.
Yeah.
Which just for 4 provisions is really crazy. And also like the Dancing Star, I had an opponent play Venosio yesterday, and I played Dancing Star to kill one of the Deadeyes and knock the other one down to 2. And it really doesn't trade down by like that many points for a 4 provision card. So they're really good tempo options as well as control for what they cost anyway.
For sure. And not only that, the Dancing Star is also kind of neato for setting up like your revs, right? You can quite easily like ping something down so that you can kill the 3 next to it and then knock it to a 1 with the 2 damage or something like that, which is really, really cute in a deck like this. Just a quick one on the difference between the version I'm running and the version you're currently rocking. I will probably put both lists in the description, so you guys feel free to check out whichever one you want. The main difference is you are running a portal in your version.
Yeah, right. So like with Madoc and all these 4 provision cards, I thought it just makes sense to try and fit Portal into decks. So I've been testing Madoc in decks where Portal is good. So I've been trying Skellige as well. I've not tried Monsters because you've got the Anar Conquerors, but of course in NR you've got the Quadrini Knights. So it just gives you like a nice tempo option that this deck otherwise didn't have. And I found like when I'm going second in particular, I can just sort of play on interactive with some bombs, and then I can play my Portal, which allows me to maybe play like a Revenant or something like that while staying ahead and not giving my opponent the pass. So I've actually really enjoyed using Portal, but also it can brick, obviously, is a downside. And I was also playing like a single Mauler as an extra assault option, so I could have the luxury to assault for a night. But really, I think what I've decided I just want to know is I know I've got 14 points off my Portal at all times. And it means I can play Portal if I've got 3 cards left without having to like click the Mauler or anything like that. So
yeah, for sure. I think it makes sense to run double Knight if you are running Portal and nothing else. But again, obviously you lose the assault into the Knight, which is a really nice tempo play in this list. And you also lose the ability to run Curse, right? Because it can get very awkward with the Portal in round 1 generally, and then you can break your Curse, right? Whereas if you're only running the 1 Knight, you have a lot more agency over when you play that tall unit, so your Curse is a bit better. And obviously to fit the Portal, you also have to cut Ronvid, which is quite a big deal, right? But
yeah, Ronvid is really good in this one. Because every time, obviously, you play a soldier, he'll come out of the deck at 1 strength, so you can use your own Revenant to recycle him. Also, like, Adalia versus Falibor is quite an interesting one as well. So you've gone for Adalia, Mr. Ches. What's your thinking with the Adalia over Falibor?
Yeah, so obviously with the Queen, I think her like the strength that she has, right? She allows you to put these Revenants, these archers on the board, and hopefully not get interacted with, like, so that they can stick. It gets you something on the board that then you can start snowballing with, which is really nice. Obviously playing more engines is like this thing in Gwent called engine overload, right? Where you play too many engines that your opponent can't answer. Sure, they have like 3 answers in hand, but as soon as you get past that 3 number of engines, they start running out of removal, right? And then your engines start to stick, and she helps with that. You did make a fair point that there's a lot of Moondust running around, so she's not as strong as maybe she once was, but a counter argument to that is that Falibor is also not as strong as he once was, because there's not a lot of 3s and 2s and stuff in the meta right now. There is Elves is a good matchup for Falibor, but outside of that, he's not got fantastic matchups across the board. Kelly being a standout bad matchup for him right now. So
yeah, I fully agree. And also there's the Dancing Star, the Falibon, which really isn't that much worse than him for 4 provisions.
Exactly.
Like, I think the Adalia is really, and she's cheaper as well. The fact she's just 10 provisions. I think I'm going to try some Adalia myself today and just upgrade something else elsewhere. Like the Falibor is nice as a tempo play for sure. But I think when you're not getting moon dusted, Adalia is just going to be worth more points in the long run, because these 5 provision engines, like your Griffin Witcher Archer, stuff like that, they are very valuable if they stick. And of course the Adalia just gives you the best chance at one sticking for a longer amount of time. And there will be some decks that just can't answer that shield at all.
For sure. All right, guys, well, that's enough of us jabbering on about our decks. I will be leaving a deck link for both of our decks in the description. If you did like this video, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll also be leaving a link to Specimen's channels, so if you want to go and check out his stuff, feel free. Alright guys, I will catch you all on the other side. Okay, so first matchup up is Lockdown.
And there's a lot of Lockdown at the moment, and this is like, depending on what we're playing against, the Curse of Corruption can be really good in this one, the Moon Dust as well. Okay,
so we managed to draw our AA, which is always a big deal. We also got a Filippo, which is pretty nice. We are on red coin as well, which can make it very awkward for him I'm assuming it will be some form of cloggers. Now, will it be double Madoc or will it be...
Sirinova.
Yeah. I think we probably kick... Oh, this is tough. Maybe Mauler? Mauler's probably the worst card here.
Yeah. We just don't want to hit Madoc or the Knight, right? So we probably keep this hand. Hitting Madoc is such a disaster. It's up to you. Oh,
the Knight's
that's fine. It's not Madoc. Yeah, it's fine. But there has been a few times. Oh, okay, that was unexpected.
So that means Spore, right?
Yeah. Which obviously we've got a heat wave. Like if we compare this matchup to Witcher NR against Bull, we probably like fancy our chances more against the Cloggers decks and that sort of thing.
I think you'd rather be Witcher NR in this matchup, but I don't think it has to be a bad matchup for us.
Yeah, we have a heat wave, so winning round 1 maybe isn't as important as it would be in Witcher NR. So I think we just take the bit of removal here. Would you agree?
Yeah, it thins our deck as well, right? It's kind of nice, and it's not like this deck should give us much else to deal with.
And this is just an example of how good D-Bomb is as well, right? We're trading down a provision, sort of. Obviously, our Madoc is, but you can just look at Madoc like a Roach or a Knickers, right?
Yeah.
For 2 provisions more that can also play into all 3 rounds, and we've just put 3 points on the board. So there's something really good about removing an engine and putting points on the board. It's why I've always loved Forbidden Magic as well. While Forbidden Magic is obviously an engine, I think Madoc's just such a banger.
So the question is how aggressive do we want to get this round? And I think if we didn't have a brick, I'd be thinking pretty aggressive. But brick makes me less inclined to take the Philippa here.
How would they answer Eggman if we just dump Eggman here?
I mean,
know maybe we're going to click... And we've not got any other bombs, so we don't even necessarily need to click Madoc, right?
No, we don't. We could also... I mean, yeah, it's not like the worst idea in the world.
Just because he's got the Veil, he's more likely to actually stick as an engine. But there's also the option of Philippa-ing this if we want to go for it. And Philippa can be really bad in this matchup because of Ramon, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think Eggman's okay here. Because pretty much any other engine will just die, right, to a Joust or whatever. At least if we play this, then we can potentially get the Griffin Witcher down next turn. Because it'll go to 5, and then things get a little awkward for him.
Yeah, there's also the option of... and the reason I love Griffin Witcher so much, you can just play it like later on if you're thinking everything's getting locked. You can just play him later on in the day. And just play him at Adrenaline 3 and he just locks himself straight away. But let's go for it, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we do this, and then next turn we just jam the Philippa if the board state's still favourable. Because then we can potentially get a nice a bit of magic as well, things like that. Things that would be really nice if we had a... Okay.
I shall relieve him of all burdens.
It's not bad, right? Like, we can ping this, take the Philippa, kills this, and then see what ends up happening.
And also, we've still got the Heat Wave potentially up for reach if this Nausicaa doesn't get hit too much. Like, if we use Heat Wave and win on even, we don't mind using the Heat Wave too much.
For sure. And like I said, this card gets a lot worse next round. Okay, so we low roll pretty hard there, but the upside is this is still thick and juicy.
Yeah.
So.
And Egwin's smurfing here. The Veil's super relevant in this matchup, for sure.
He's going to take the coup.
Coup is pretty good, isn't it? Pretty disgraceful.
But it does give us a Forbidden Magic, which is cute. Which I'm pretty sure we just take.
Yeah, I agree.
He's also set up a one for us. And if he passes, we can potentially go Ronvid.
We definitely want to win the round and try and...
We do now we've played.
Board, so.
Yeah, we definitely do now.
So there is also an argument with this Griffin Witcher not to hit one of the 4s, even though it makes our Heat Wave worse, because there's a chance that it could ping for 3 and line up a Revenant when it locks itself.
Yeah, that's
not a definite
shape.
There is also just an argument we could just play another Revenant here. Like, I think these engines are just going to get locked in the next round, but it looks like they don't have a lock, judging. But we could also play the Archer, just judging by the fact they've let this Griffin Witcher stick, right?
Yeah, I don't hate the Archer here, actually. The question is how do we take it then? It's probably going to be a...
The king! The country! The freedom!
Probably end up going to be a into Ronvid, I suppose. Okay, here comes the Ramonski.
So they did have a lock the whole time. That is very weird. They've let us get these engines down, but each to their own. So we know they've got another lock as well, which they're probably just going to play this lock as their next card, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what we do.
Kind of feel like this might be the turn to play Ronvid, because I don't think they're going to bleed us, right? So getting Ronvid in our grave is pretty nice.
Yeah, but also, like, if we play Ronvid, then we're basically just accepting we're losing the round, which maybe we just need to do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Ramon out of him, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, we will have traded Ramon for Philippa, and then we both trade Echo cards. I don't think it's the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I might be wrong.
Hopefully you dodge the arm. If we hit a 4, it'll be really good. Beautiful.
And he may very well take this lock now, and then I play another Revenant, and then we decide whether or not we need to, like, either pass or... This Revenant is representing 7 points right now. And then we can take it with Cade any night from hand, which isn't like super ideal, but if he plays another card we can always pass as well, so you can see like what the sort of tempo gap is. Like I said, these are likely to get locked and things later. That is 3 locks out round 1 though, which isn't bad.
This is like what Revenant decks do really well, so they just have so many things that need answering.
So I think we should play this, right? Keep the Heatwave.
Yeah. And obviously locks are very good against us, but we still, at the end of the day, had enough engines going through. We just had one too many for them to deal with. So we've got a couple of options. We can obviously go for the long round, or we can try and bleed the ball out. So the fact we've got Heatwave maybe means there could be a line, but obviously we've also used our Assault, so we don't have the luxury of like a free bleed with Assault into round 2.
I think we kick the Mauler, right?
The Forbidden Magic could also be awkward, right? I've had a couple times yesterday where I had some dead Forbidden Magics, and that does not feel good.
That's true, and like if I find a Dahlia, I do need a unit, and this deck does run minimal amount of units. That suggests, like, you do want to push a little, right? But I think we just kick the Mauler here, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, we just pass with this hand. We'd like to find Curse, a Nairo, a Dahlia, right? They're the cards we really want to see. Okay, Brick Brigade, so that makes his Joachim dangerous. Nice. I think we kick the Dancing Star, right?
Yeah, probably in this one. Just need to find... There we go, that's what you want to see.
I mean, this hand's pretty sweet. We got AA for Revenant, double Archer, couple of bombs, and Tor Punish. What could go wrong?
Now, there's also like a line if they play... Ooh, on a Brick Brigade.
I think we just start with our Archers, right?
Yeah, it does make sense, I think. The thing I was going to say, there's a line sometimes, if they were to slam ball turn 1, you can be a bit cheeky and you can try and like Moondust or Northern Wind the Dame and then Heatwave it a turn later.
Oh, I think that's always the line.
Yeah, it's something I've only recently started to do, but...
Yeah, essentially what it means is like they can play their Aristocrat, right? But they have nothing on the board to like interact with, so playing their Aristocrat's not really like beneficial for them. And that way you stop that Dame getting any bigger, right? Like that Dame can play for a lot of points if you Heatwave first and then they go Usurper, for example.
True love could lift the curse, but who would love?
This is going to be some nice northern wind value here for sure as well. And this is just like already showing Adalia just doing a job. Like if they've got any sort of removal that's not a Tony Joust or a Moon Dust, she just does really, really well. Gets you this extra engine, which is exactly what this deck wants, just that one extra engine. So I'm definitely going to try some Adalia in my deck later on.
Pretty sure we pinged the guy in the back because of the one in the front. I want to take away our Madoc value.
Yeah, the thing with the Thirsty Dame, if you don't kill this Dame that comes in at first, it can just be usurped. It's a little bit different now though, because we've got things on the board.
Yeah, I
more
tend to
likely
agree.
just
Pretty
want
sure
to
we
heat wave
just
it.
take the heat
Yeah, I
wave
agree.
here. But we can work on that Dame to make sure it doesn't get too much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like next turn, even if he plays... Okay, that's fine.
Barbarian sword.
Thick curse.
I'm only kidding. Yeah,
We kill the Dame here, right?
yeah, I tend to agree. Tend to agree on that one.
I don't. Yeah, we should probably still. Obviously, the Madoc hitting the Sergeant is a bit awkward, but they also might coup something else that goes to all right.
Yeah.
So it might not be.
Yeah, I think it's
disaster.
fine. I think it's okay.
We still have to click in it, yeah. But yeah, this moon, like self-moon dust, is a funny one. There are sometimes lines where if you
I think if there was
self-damage,
nothing
like
on-
the Roderick or something like that.
I think if there was nothing on the board, it might be a play. Like if we had
Mhm.
no board state at all, but if we were going for like completely non-interactive, it could be a line. But right now, I don't think it is. I think we need to get this down ASAP.
Eyes closed.
Fine. I think now we go for the Rev.
Mhm.
For the king!
And obviously, it's a little awkward, but with this being our last, like one of our last cards to be played, but it's okay. I think getting this Rev down was more important.
Yeah, I agree.
Might yen it, I guess. I guess we usurper.
My rule is strong.
A lot of points.
Curse is gonna hopefully do a job for us. We can we can. You don't have to
Ronvid,
self
right?
ping, right?
Yeah.
We could kill Romvid, but
Oh,
is
right,
it not
yeah,
better?
there's a one,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because we've got 2 archers down, so we can line up another one as well.
That is true.
But also, Ronvid won't come back if they like poison our archer. It could be worth just killing Ronvid because we're going to play the archer, but I'm not sure.
No,
This
it's
is
fine,
the
right?
highest
We can
ceiling
set
play.
up to a one here anyway.
Mhm. Oh, of course. I'm thinking we would have 2 revenants left. Yeah, yeah.
Just a one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Not the best fangs, and this is what this deck
Wait,
does really
did
well.
he-
Just plays low to the floor, isn't it?
Did he mulligan away his coup? He did, right? He mulliganed away his coup. He must have hit... He kind of hit Joachim on his last mull. That's weird. I'm not sure why he mulled it away. Guess
Yeah.
A little worried about...
Fight! Kill!
Guess he was a little worried about us denying it, but... Hey, there you go. Curse coming in very clutch there. Curse.
Definitely. I think this just shows as well what this deck does really well. It stays low to the floor, so it's not very good against tool punishes, and
Yep.
you've just got so many engines that even if someone's got a handful of locks, hopefully you've just got all you need is one engine to not be answered, and it can start really putting some work in.
For sure. Obviously, their leader ability does make this deck quite a bit worse, right? Because you want to be able to play your Revenants and get them going, and it was very awkward for us to find a time to sequence our Revenant and get value from it. Maybe we could have found a turn earlier to play it, because we had more ones to eat there. We just didn't have time to eat them, right? But like you said, it's very good at staying low. It makes it very awkward for things like poison and stuff to find any good value. But yeah, great game.
So, pretty hard.
Okay, so this time we have
irritate me.
Precision Strike. Now I'm pretty sure this is just an awful, awful, awful matchup. It's not the
Yes.
matchup we wanted to queue.
No, because their control with just a unitless focus with things like Tiger, whereas we're a control with
Units,
engine
yeah.
focus.
So they just, yeah, this has always been Mobilization's worst matchup. Hands is actually not that bad, but it's going to be tricky.
Something we forgot to mention as well earlier on is the Griffin Witcher with the Zeal. It's just so good in it. It's just so good.
With the veil, yeah.
Yeah, if you can get this to stick, it's just filth.
So the question is how do we start?
I mean, whatever we play dies.
I'm honestly leaning towards a Dahlia into like a Mauler.
Actually, yeah. I quite like a Dahlia onto a Griffin Witcher, maybe.
We'd even do it,
Do we
yeah.
have a Dahlia, Griffin Witcher, and do we even... I would say we could Zeal it as well, so we don't die to Moondust. But also, then we're using our shield and...
Yeah, I don't think you want to put both on,
Anyway.
because like if he Moondusts it, it dies great, but then he can't Moondust the one that we give Crystal Skull to.
True, very true.
I mean, he can if he has 2 Moondusts, but
Nobody has 2 Moondusts, man. Come on.
not in their opening hand, right?
That's cheating. And we've got the Northern Wind for the Madoc, if they are in fact playing Madoc, which
Most of them.
you don't see too many engine P-Strike decks.
No, you don't.
Much.
Long gone are the days of ethical P-Strike. There was a time when Harmony played P-Strike because, you know, P-Strike was just utterly broken and Harmony was the best deck, but no more. Okay, I mean, we got a leader charge, which is pretty nice. We gotta just jam and kill his Madoc, which is pretty relevant.
Do we ever...
Nope.
Nah.
Nope.
So there's like an argument to
Player
give
rent
our
his, player rent his, but
Madoc a Crystal Skull, but we just want to probably use it for the Griffin Witcher.
I tend to agree. Like, if he wants to kill it, he's got more bombs than we have, most likely. We're playing very minimal amount of bombs.
Now that's a card. So I actually thought about playing this myself. Someone mentioned it to me. It's kind of just like an immune unit, but if you have something like Becca's, it would kill it. Becca's Rockslide. So you can kill it, but if you were to damage it by like 4, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I can heat wave it, right? Like, curse it kills it. But yeah, it's semi-immune, right?
How many provisions is it? Is it 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I think maybe just like a Mauler here. Like
I
I could play the Griffin Witcher and give it thing, but it gives more time to.
I kind of like the idea of playing the Griffin Witcher just when it's going to lock itself, because
I'm not
it's
sure
probably
we're
going to
gonna
get heat
get that.
waved anyway.
I'm not sure we're getting that deep, but maybe.
Yeah, that's true. We can try though, right?
Smile, you blothered ship!
Just a Thunder. That's kind of an interesting one. You don't see them very often
I'm
because
tempted to
bombs.
take this curse.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, they don't
I
have.
think we definitely need round control if we're going to win this one, and we still got heat wave and stuff.
Yeah. I just don't see another line here, really. Like, this needs to go.
I think we have to win this round, and it's such a bad matchup for us that if we don't have round control, it seems like we're kind of toast. At least if we have round control, we could try and bleed with Assault, because we're really good at the game and we'll draw it, of course.
I mean, we also have a Nairo to find it, right? So. That probably goes as well.
Yeah, I agree.
And we just say his gourd goes through, but that's fine. At the same time, is it necessary to do it right now? Like, it's only hitting this, but it is 7 point. I don't know. It's hitting this at the moment, which isn't that. Honestly, if I play Revenant now.
Yeah, it sets up a 1 for us, right? As well.
It's kind of cute.
I like the Revenant play. It probably just gets removed, but
like I
we're gonna click.
Could Crystal Skull it, but
We're probably going to click Madoc anyway, right? Seeing as we've got 2 other bombs, so
exactly. It's no big deal.
nice immune card, mate. Do we ever just?
Well, we
do
can't.
we ever? Do
Cannot
we ever
really see.
just click the Madoc for the immune removal, or is that not going to be worth it? Also, like what? I guess we're heat waving still, honestly.
So we get 3 from this if we do it. So we
So
get
the other
plus
thing,
2.
the other thing is like this Griffin Witcher next turn. If we play it in a turn,
Could
not
kill
this
it.
turn,
Yeah.
could kill.
Yeah, I don't hate it. And then what? We heat wave here.
Yeah, I think. And I think we still don't use Crystal Skull because we can use it on Griffin Witcher next turn. I think this is like something Griffin Witcher just gives to this deck as well. It can be an engine in some matchups, but then at other times you just play it as a value card late on in the round. Could be a Mahakam Horn. This would also support that idea that it's probably a horn. So we could... Forbidden Magic wouldn't get us ahead. So there's 8 points that are invisible on horn here, but this plays as a 11, so we're at 13. Should be... Is it enough?
No, but I think it's okay. He's gone full leader and we potentially snipe the thing. I think it's okay.
If we kill like two...
These two.
Same
these
side
two,
of the horn, yeah. Which, I mean, there's not that bad odds on it. Actually, with the way it works, I have a feeling the horn might buff first and then the Griffin Witcher deals damage.
It's a shame it didn't kill one of these two because...
It really is, huh?
But it's okay. So I could leader now. Does that get me ahead? Leader plays for...
I don't think it does get us
6, right? Plays for 6 and no, it doesn't. It's okay.
Yeah, we can't. We low rolled super hard. We hit the worst thing possible on the Griffin Witcher. But we won the round. They did use full leader, which is super relevant.
And a bunch of immune units, so... We can find AA here. Ronvid's super nice. They've also played their Heat Wave.
Yeah, this is where you just pray that you find Assault.
I guess we mull this, right?
Yeah.
I guess Archer.
Archer could be our leader, right? If we ever want to leader this, I don't know.
You would say Eggman, but Eggman's kind of...
Do we ever just get rid of the moon dust and say they're going to stay somewhat uninteractive, maybe? We've got too much removal for them already.
Potentially. It kind of feels bad not playing our thingy, though, this round. Not ideal.
No. This is like a big problem I have with Echo cards, like the difference between drawing one and...
Yeah, I mean, that's
huge, right?
Yeah, for sure. Missing both Echo cards is really suboptimal. Although, Squirrel Madoc, I mean, there's plenty of good squirrel targets in this deck. I think we just play this now, right? Sets up a thingy for us, Rev kill.
Are you tempted to leader or not? Because we might not get a leader again. Also, if they pass, if they kill this, we don't get the Rev, right? But we would probably get the pass still.
Okay, I don't hate leader in this.
Have a look at that. Like falling stars.
Hopefully he plays something.
Yeah, they play something. And not a dragon either. Dragon wouldn't help our cause.
That is not something.
It's pretty weak though, at least.
The question is, do we
how
play
do they
this?
do it? Gord is not enough, I don't think, is it?
No, Gord's not enough.
6.
We can take this pass, I think. It's okay.
Yeah, I think it's alright. We've got Ronvid as well now down as well, so that's a point of carryover.
It's really sad we don't just have like AA here into...
Yeah, super sad.
You know
Not
what I mean?
ideal. Hello, that's a card. They have to play points on the board, so it's not that easy. This is another example of where you wish you had a Madoc, right? If you're the opponent, you could just play a D-bomb and suddenly it's enough.
I mean, they had a Madoc.
They did, that's a good point. I forgot about that.
They did have a Madoc. They don't have a Madoc anymore.
Oh, the Falla Bomb.
Oh, thank God for that. Actual points. We kicked the Fala bomb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheila. Do I want Sheila? She's 2 damage.
I think damage is...
Still better than bomb, probably. Is it? Like this?
They also played Thunder, which, I mean, do you play 2 Thunders? Maybe not.
No.
Probably fine.
It's tough. It's tough call.
I'll leave it up to you, mate. But we could also hit Knight, right? Is Philippa doing much for us? Maybe this is just that Rev's pretty good.
I mean, I had a Nero and Philippa. Like, Philippa's huge, right? Because she's just massive damage, so...
Yeah, she can hit Dragon as well if there's another.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think we just do this.
I agree.
And then probably disc... I mean, I guess there's no reason to discard. Now that Madoc's gone. There is an argument to start with this because of Ronvid.
Right.
But he's probably going to have to discard here, which is nice for us. Also, this isn't like... The Ronvid's going to make this really awkward for him. Yeah, so we get...
They'll not leave here alive.
Nice placement. Front row is cheating. Does front row self-damage? I don't think it does. I think it's enemy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So the question is like, which one of these do we want to get them first?
I would say the Revenant because we have Ronvid, right?
But I think he has 4 damage, right? So isn't this guy better? Like, he'll stick.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. And Ronvid could spawn in the front.
Yeah.
But that would also cuck our Revenant, maybe.
But maybe he has 5 damage. He is running Thunders, so... Maybe we just play this and see what's what.
Hope for the best.
Sure. I think we're okay here because we got the AA big points at the end. Like, unless he goes Dragon Gourd here, but Dragon Gourd here probably doesn't win because of Revenant. Okay, so we made the right call.
2 Thunders.
I don't
Casual.
think I play around another one, right? I think we
Yet
just...
what do I get?
Yeah, we assume it's good.
Do we take
Do we
this up?
beat, do we beat Gord though? That's
Yeah, we
the
beat
question
any
we've got to-
removal here, right? So we just leave this up because AA beats any removal here.
Mhm.
It's not even as big as my... It's not even as big as my knight. Okay,
Beautiful.
it's as big as my knight.
Ronvid, mate. Look at that.
Coming in clutch. Oh, that's a really nice one to get a win on because that was a tough matchup. I don't think
For
that's
sure.
favoured. Was a bit of a weird version he's running, but like the
Yeah,
immunity's
we
good
also
for
had
him.
that low roll round 1, which would have made a big difference, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we also
Nice.
had the issue of not drawing any of our Echo Cards before round 3, which is not really what you're hoping for when you play double Echo Card.
Definitely not. Especially in a matchup you're planning on bleeding.
Mhm.
Not finding Assault is a bit of a disaster, really. Bit of a
sure.
death sentence at times.
Indeed. Well, that's it from us today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do want to catch either of us, we both stream on Twitch. Our links will be down below. And thanks again for joining me, Spessy. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, mate. Definitely need to do some more. I'm probably going to be playing some on my YouTube channel as well. Some more Revenants coming soon, I guess. So
If you enjoyed this, make sure to check
probably
out
some,
Spessy's channel.
yeah,
Right.
definitely want to do some more of these, Ches. Thanks for having me.
It's been a
It's been
pleasure.
fun.
Anytime. See you guys.